Welcome back to PianoTurtle. So last week I talked about getting into a couple of real fights, one that I actually got out of without having to fight, but it was pretty intense at the same time. After a few fights and generally felt like it was like a slow turn, you know, to the dark side, I realized that it is no way to continue. And believe me when I say this, it was a lot more stressful than I'm making a sound here, you know? A lot more details, a lot of more state of mind, you know. I was generally depressed. Keeping up the bad boy image was so tiresome and wearing me down. Tip of the day, don't be a gang leader. I was popular, you know, because of an image, and respected or feared even. But because of that, there were haters I don't even know that just wanted to knock me down. Looking over my shoulder was a constant habit. I was very pleased that those were the only fights that I had encountered. That and keeping up grades really wore me down. Time passed very slowly. Every morning I wake up, I just wish it was over. When it was time to consider which high school I would be going to, I thought I would need to be in a much better high school, a specialized one, the best in the city, you know, right? Without the metal detectors, gangs, drug dealers. Oh yes, I've heard stories. I had some serious discussion with mom and dad about where I should go to high school. There were 4 specialized high schools in New York: Stuyvesant, Bronx Science, Brooklyn Tech, and LaGuardia High School of Music and Arts. Of course, I applied to all of them, but I really wanted to take the easier route, so I thought anyway, and choose to focus on getting into LaGuardia. I did not want to mess with tech nor science. I asked my art teacher in middle school if I had a chance with art. She's one of the nicest teachers, and she said it was very difficult. I showed her a piece of art that I did, and she said, "This is very nice, but I don't know." I asked her to come over to the piano at school, and I played some Beethoven for her. Just sat down and played, didn't ask for permission. And she listened. And then afterwards she said, "Please, go with music. You'll have better chances." Ouch. I guess my art stinks in her mind. On the way home, I thought again about Arthur Rubinstein and the Chopin's music. Rubinstein performed Chopin in a movie. That must be one of the highest levels ever. I want to up my chances, so I decided to learn the Chopin Polonaise. I remembered my teacher saying it was above my level, so I studied it without telling him. I practiced at church. My parents didn't even know. I watched the video over and over again. I looked at the notes that my grandfather sent to me. I stretched my fingers to have a bigger reach. Practiced, and practiced. I copied Rubinstein's movements, and I guess artistry as well. He did it artistically, but I didn't understand the artistry, so it was just mimicking. He bounced himself off the chair sometimes, playing so hard, right? And I practiced that too. He took liberties with tempo and rubato, which means the artistic play of time. I did not even know the word back then. 3 months it took for my hands to memorize the movements, hand and body, the style, and everything. And I continued to play that one piece, focused on the one piece, while taking on increasingly more and more criticism from my piano teacher. I was not doing Bach, Czerny, sonatinas, and sonatas as much. For the most part, Peter was very patient with me. During piano class, I stayed at the same level, but secretly, I worked on what I thought was an ultimate challenge at the time. Finally, after 3 months of playing this one piece, 6 months total, the audition day came. I played it nearly flawlessly in the style of Rubinstein, or so I thought. I looked at the jury members, and they were smiling. Yeah, I smiled right back. But then one of them spoke, and she said, "You did a great job, but I'm a little concerned with the rhythm. Your rubato seems just a bit overkill." In my mind, I was like, what is rubato, you know? So I was getting nervous because I don't know what she's talking about. But then she continued speaking while I was thinking that. I was getting nervous and, would you play it again? But keep the rhythm, please. Immediately I said out loud, you know, and I can't believe that I did. I just said it. I said, so you want me to play like a robot? She actually giggled and said, no. I just want you to play, you know, the rhythm, the way it's written. I just want to double check to see if you can count. I was like, oh, okay. So I played and acted like a robot, you know, because they were giggling. So I kind of played into it and counted out loud when I was playing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3, and a few measures in, she actually, you know, said, okay, stop, more giggling, very, very good. You don't have to count out loud. I asked them right there, then and there, so did I get in? And she replied, well, if you pass your theory in sight singing, I would say yes. I went home and delivered the good news. You know, my straight A's, kung fu, splits and kicks, outsmarting the bullies, all of those victories, they were not felt by me. In fact, they wore me down. But this one, I was so happy. I spent 6 months doing what I aimed to do. My parents and Peter did not know that I had learned the Chopin Polonaise. I told them that I got in. They thought I was auditioning with Beethoven. I came back and I performed Rubinstein for my parents, and the look on their face was priceless. It felt like a total victory. Getting into LaGuardia completely changed my life. Details on that in future episodes. It's actually the end of the year, 2020. What a year, right? Had to stay home, not teach, not perform, but I've done YouTube for 6 months. What a way to end this year's storytelling. I had a victory, yay! So, with that said, Happy New Year. I really appreciate all of you watching and listening and encouraging me these 6 months. Next year, things will get really interesting. Stay tuned.